Welcome to the class 12 biology classroom. Today we are going to see Mendelism. Before going to the real Mendelism, the law of inheritance, let's see some historical background of Mendelism and what are the emphasis Mendel has given during his experimentation. So first of all, come to historical background. So this Mendelian inheritance or law of inheritance or Mendelism is the first quantitative study of inheritance on genetics. This experiment was conducted in sweet pea, also called garden pea, whose biological name is Pisum sativum. Mendel started his experiment in the year 1856 and concluded in 1863. In the year 1865, he submitted his papers, experimentation paper, to the Royal Society of London. At that time, this was the only society which is publishing the new invention and discoveries during that time. In 1884, Mendel died, and in 1886, Natural History Society of Brunn published that paper, which was submitted to Royal Society of London. Still, the paper was unnoticed till 1899. Again, in the next year, it is 1900, this Mendel's paper was rediscovered separately by three scientists, Hugo de Vries from Holland, Tischermark from Austria, and Correns from Germany. And they published Mendel's theory, Mendel's paper on his name, and that is popularly called as Mendelism or Mendel's law of inheritance. Clear? So this is what the historical background. Now come to the emphasis where Mendel has given maximum stress during his experimentation. First of all, he was very strong in statistical analysis. He had the mathematic logic and he applied the formula a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square while calculating, while quantifying this law of inheritance. He has taken large sampling size and large data so that very easy for him to pick up, to take out the true breeding lines. He had taken and kept the data of each generation. Wise selection of contrasting tract, true breeding line for each experiment. In each experiment, experimental organisms are true breeding line. If it is tall, then it is truly tall. If it is dwarf, then it is pure dwarf. Good selection of experimental organism. Experimental organism is the garden pea, very short lifespan, and quickly it completes its life cycle and gives the seeds within 2 months. That was the plus point for his experimentation. Selected 7 characters. He was very fortunate enough to select 7 characters in pea plant. Later on, it was discovered that pea plants has 7 pairs of chromosomes. In F1 generation, he trained the plants for cross pollination. Clear? So how cross pollination is done? Mendel did the cross pollination through the process emasculation. Emasculation is a process where the stamen of a flower is removed so that only the female sex organ is present in that flower. This process of transferring pollens from one plant to the stigma of another plant whose stamen is removed, and the next after F1, the F2 generation is through self-pollination. He deduced 4 postulates from his total findings. That postulates are also called principles. First one is principle of unit character. Second one is principle of dominance. Third one is principle of purity of gametes. And fourth one is principle of recombination. And his 3 laws are: first law, law of dominance; second law, law of segregation; and third law, law of independent assortment. Generally, the law of dominance is not considered as law, but still in class 12 biology book it is given. So the student of class 12 biology, you can consider this as a law. So there are 3 laws of Mendel. Next I will show you the 7 characters with their contrasting trait and the symbol which are used or which Mendel had used. After that, the definition of these principles and the laws will flash on the board and sound will come. You will listen that one. After that, we will discuss the first test of Mendel, that is called monohybrid cross. One more important point I want to tell you, Mendel has selected pea plant because pea plant has short lifespan, and second important character is that the pea plant is self-pollinated plant. Here is the 7 characters of pea plant which Mendel has selected. First one is seed shape, second one is seed color, third is flower color, flower position, pod shape, pod color and stem length. These are the 7 characters and each character has a 2 contrasting trait. Okay? Seed shape has 2 contrasting round and wrinkled. Seed color yellow, green. Flower color purple, white, like this. All 7 contrasting traits are given for each character. One more thing you will note that the trait 1 which is mentioned here is the dominant trait of that character, and this is trait 2, it is the recessive trait of this character. So symbol he used is, for dominant he used the capital, starts with the first letter of that dominant trait. In recessive trait, dominant traits first letter is used in small form. Round, so here it is wrinkled. For wrinkle, 2 small r stands. For round, 2 capital. In this way, these symbols and these traits are arranged by Mendel. Now here is the principles of Mendel's. The first principle of unit characters. The unit characters of heredity are the factors or determinants which determine the characters in offsprings and always occurs in pair. Among the pair, one partner comes from father and other comes from mother. These factors are now called as genes, and the pair factors is called gene pair. When these pair partners are different, it is called allele, and when same, they are called allele-morph. Next, principle of dominance. In the contrasting pair of factors, only one expresses itself while other hides or unexpressed during F1 generation. The expressed factor is called dominant and unexpressed factor is called recessive. Sometimes in some books it is referred to as the law of dominance. Principle of dominance is otherwise referred to as law of dominance. Third principle of purity of gametes. When a pair of contrasting factors are brought together in a hybrid, the 2 factors remain together without being contaminated, and when gametes are formed in the hybrid, the 2 factors are segregated or separated from each other and only one enters each gamete. Hence, gametes are pure. This principle is also called as first law of heredity or simply called law of segregation. Next, fourth principle of recombination. When 2 or more factor pair is involved, then they segregate independently of one another so that they combine at random during the formation of gametes. Here Mendel concluded that not only the factors of one character segregate, but they get separated from alleles of other pair of traits. Hence, each factor has full freedom for recombination. This principle is often known as the law of independent assortment. Hence, now we will see the monohybrid cross of Mendel. In this monohybrid cross, we will discuss the first 3 principles of Mendel and first 2 laws of Mendel. So it is a bigger one and it's the basic of total genetics. Because after Mendelism, whatever the genetics you will get, all are the deviation of Mendel. That is where the genetics is divided into two parts. One is Mendelism, another one is post-Mendelian genetics. Clear? So Mendelism is the basic genetics. If you are not able to understand this one, the total genetics will be in vain. Mendel has done experiment with all the 7 characters, but for our convenience, we are going to see in one character. Let's take the example of length of the plant. What is the character? Character is length of the plant. Now it has 2 traits, tall and dwarf. Now what he did, he first take a pure line tall. Through his continuous artificial breeding, he selected a pure tall plant and he crossed with a pure dwarf variety. So it is a cross pollination through emasculation process. Now the product of this tall and dwarf in F1 generation are all tall. So he asked question to himself, where is the dwarf? Whatever the number of tall plants and number of dwarfs were taken, in all he experimented and he found that all are tall plants. Next he go for self-pollination between these F1 tall plants and he got 3/4 tall and 1/4 dwarf. What he conclude from here, that he has taken tall plant and dwarf plant. Where is the dwarf? Or in the other word you can say dwarf heights. When you compare this tall of F1 and tall of F2, are they same? As far as their physical appearance is concerned, the tall of F1 and the tall of F2 are same. Same tall of both F1 and F2. And again he analyzed this dwarf. This dwarf and this dwarf are also same. Again he observed that these 3/4 tall plants, if you measure the length, no one has shorter length or very big length. In other words, you can say there is no intermediate length appears neither in this tall nor in this tall. Even parents also in parents. Depending on this observation and experiment, he assumed that something is there in the parent that is passing to their offsprings, and he called those some things as factors or determiners. He also given one name, more name, that is called alleles. Later on we know that is a gene. One more point he conclude here, that these factors or determiners or alleles occurs in pair. So he give the notation to tall and he given capital T because it is a true breeding line. So a pair of capital T are the genes responsible for tall expression, and it is small t genes responsible for expression of dwarf characters. This is what he called pair unit. The first postulates, the factors or determiners occurs in pair. Each member of the pair is called allele. So these are the factors or determiners. They occurs in pair and each one is called allele. If they are similar, both are similar, then they are called homozygous or allele-morph. If they are dissimilar, like this, they are called heterozygous or alleles. So you will see when there is a heterozygous condition or alleles, who will express the character? Obviously the dominant one. So among these factors or alleles, any one is dominant, then other is recessive. So the factor who hides, so in this condition it may be, this condition is TT, capital T and small t. So this dwarf character hides in this place, hence it is a recessive, and the tall character expressed in F1 generation, so that is a dominant. Any one is dominant and another one is recessive, and he formulate his law of dominance. So let us draw this structure using these symbols. Tall plant crossed with dwarf plant. So this forms the gametes, capital T, capital T. This also forms the gamete, small t, small t. This T has possibility of combines with this as well as this. Similarly, this T with this T as well as with this T. So the formation is TT, TT, TT and TT. So in F1 generation, the offsprings, each offsprings get one factor from father, another factor from mother. As a result, they are in heterozygous condition, or you can say they are in hybrid condition, and hence this experiment of Mendel is called hybridization experiment of Mendel. So this is heterozygous condition, or we'll say alleles. Yeah, alleles pair, not allele morph. This is allele morph. This is allele morph, but this is alleles. So try to understand the difference between alleles and allele morph. Alleles are the heterozygous and allele morphs are the homozygous condition. Now take any two product of F1 generation and self cross them. So this TT will produce the gamete capital T, small t, and this will also produce the gamete capital T and small t. Now see the combination TT capital T, small t, capital T, small t, small t, small t. This dwarf again reappears, and these three, 4 are the tall plants. You can understand this in a Punnett square model also. Here is the box. They are the gametes of this, and these are the gametes for this Punnett. TT, T, small t, capital T, small t, small t. So this is the dwarf, and these all are tall. So 3 tall and 1 dwarf. So ratio is 3:1. This is the ratio of Mendel's monohybrid cross. 3 tall and 1 dwarf. Again we will examine this. Here the factors are in homozygous condition, and here the factors are in heterozygous condition, and here again homozygous. So it is called homozygous dwarf. This is homozygous tall or pure tall, and these two are not pure. One is from father tall, another one is from mother dwarf character, and the character expressed is tall, means tall is dominant, hence it expresses its character. Same thing true, and these two are called hybrid. If you see these things, they all are tall. So this ratio 3:1 ratio is 3 tall and 1 dwarf, and this ratio is called phenotype और phenotypic ratio, क्योंकि आपके आंख में नजर आ रहा है कि 3 tall है, dwarf है. If you see their genetic makeup, you will see that 1 pure tall, 2 hybrid tall, and 1 dwarf. So 1:2:1, it is called genotype ratio. So phenotype is the physical appearance and genotype is the genetic makeup or genetic appearance of the organism in F2 generation. Now, Mendel asked one question to himself. So why the dwarf character not appears in To answer his questions, he concluded that during gamete formation, alleles get separate from each other and they are free to transmit to any gamete. They get separated from each other and they are free to transmit to any gamete. That gamete may be a male gamete or it may be a female gamete, whatever will be the case. And same thing happens during F2 generation also. In this F2, this is F2 generation. During F2 generation also, this hybrid tall, which has one tall gene and a dwarf gene, they are also able to separate easily, freely from each other. So they have the tendency to segregate from each other freely. Yeah, and that is called the law of segregation. When they get separate from each other, they restore their purity. They will not contaminated with each other during their staying in this generation. Once they forms the gametes, each alleles are free and independent to separate completely from that pair, and this is called law of segregation. Or other word we can say, the gamete which are formed are in its purest form. It is not contaminated with this as long as it's staying with its partner in this generation, and this is called purity of gametes. Let's see the mathematical logic of Mendel's half T, because he has taken one character. So this character has two factors, T, T or TT. So half T plus second half T. So it is A, it is B. Clear? Now their whole square. What will get? Half T square plus half T square plus 2 into half T and half T. Result is half 1 by 4 TT. T square means TT. It is 1 by 4 TT plus 2 TT. So 1 by 4 pure line tall, 1 by 4 pure line dwarf, and 2 hybrid. If we add this one and this one, you will get 3 by 4 tall, and this is 1 by 4 dwarf. This is what the mathematical analysis. This is homozygous pair, this is homozygous pair, and this is heterozygous or hybrid or alleles, and this is homozygous or allele morph. So final ratio is phenotype 3:1 and genotype 1:2:1. If you like this video, please comment, like it, share to your friends, and must subscribe the channel. Thank you.